Alfie Slater, Oleksandr Bondarev and Marcel Kasparicki. We have some chemical scientists down there and experimentalists in this Champions of the Future. I suppose that's kind of the ethos in Champions of the Future Euro Series. You do try things a little bit differently.
Think outside the box.
Absolutely. So let's see what happens this time as we go racing. Great start from the odd side of the grid, the even side left out to dry. And as a result, several drivers already charging their way forward to make a place or two. Bondarev up on the curbs, making 2 or 3 places up there. Great work from the Ukrainian. As up into the lead, it's Martinez from Ditiev, Letemarki, the Rocker, and Marius Barryberg up to 5th position, I do believe. Then in P6, I do believe that is Bondi himself, Oleksandr Bondarev, having made a terrific start and charging his way through into P6. Make that P5 if he gets the run. Can't quite make it through on Marius Barryberg, the Dane, who holds on to the position, the Norwegian, I should say. Marius Barryberg, for the time being, still remaining in 5th position. And Ditiev is really trying his tricks here on Jacopo Martinez. Bondarev gets the dive up the inside into 5th position. I tell you what, putting tyres on the left side is not the convention. He went right. It seems to be working.
Certainly does, and with that, I suppose he had the grip on the inside to be able to grab onto that curb and then just drag himself through. So, yeah, there may be an actual science to it then. Radek Vavra under investigation at the start of this race, so maybe something to do with the start procedure, because he's gained 4 positions on this first lap. Was he out of position at the start of this race? Back here at the front, though, and it's still all guns blazing. Kirill Ditiev right on that rear bumper of Jacopo Martinez. This is kind of carbon copy of what we saw earlier on, remember, where it all started to kick off between the drivers. But right now, still looking relatively comfortable, but Ditiev is piling on the pressure here, and it could go for a move here. Check over the shoulder, and Jacopo Martinez goes defensive around the outside. Is he going to go all the way around the outside? No, he's going to get left out to dry, and through comes Sebastian Letemarki. Letemarki up into 2nd place now, great running.
Bondarev holding 5th as he had challenges from Marius Barryberg and Jack Iliff, and now they're going to tighten up again in the hairpin. You've got to keep your wits about you. This is a very defensive, tactical race at the moment from Jacopo Martinez. Ditiev going to try his best. Bondarev slides up the inside, gets the run on Murillo the Rocker. Up in 4th position, the Rocker drifts wide. Meanwhile, the top 3 still conflagrating together. Martinez, Letemarki, Ditiev, and they are absolutely squabbling. Bondarev now through to 4th position. That's going to help out the Ukrainian in the Prema, but there is Martinez still holding guard in front of the Paralin of Letemarki and the Tony Kart of Kirill Ditiev, and we've seen how defensive Martinez has been every single lap so far in this heat. On the run up to the hairpin, he's checking over his right shoulder, trying to keep Letemarki at bay. Ditiev will come back around to it. Bondarev now tightens up. It's a 4-kart brawl.
It's not a 4-kart brawl anymore. It's nearly the top 11 that are in this fight here. Now it's down the inside through turn 1. Goes Sebastian Letemarki, but Jacopo Martinez holds it on the outside, and Bondarev comes through. Bondarev up into P2 now, taking full advantage of the situation, and now he's going to go for the race lead on this one. He can't quite get on the entry, but he'll get it on the exit, and now Bondarev leads the way in this race. A brilliant run for the driver who's now running with the Prema team.
Bondarev started 13th in this race, and on lap 4, not even past half distance, he has stormed his way to the lead. My goodness, Oleksandr Bondarev reminding everybody just how good he is on the Prema. Takes the lead. Now he's got Martinez hunting him down. He wants another go at it, as up the inside Scott Marsh gets his bid on the inside of Murillo de Roca, I think that is. No, sorry, that is Kirill Ditiev he manages to take on, but then he finishes the job on the Roca. So it's Bondarev, Martinez. There goes the move from Marius Barryberg, the Norwegian, up to 3rd position, takes on Letemarki. Now Kirill Ditiev is going to have his bid to try further back. It's a bit of a squabble as the Rocker tries to hold off Jack Iliff. He's already flirted with that curb one too many times for his liking. At 4th position, Letemarki versus Ditiev continue to duel, but this time it's not for the lead, it's for 4th. And Ditiev getting impatient. A big dying maneuver on the inside there. Dives in, gets the overtaking move there on the Paralin, and storms through into 4th position. So Bondarev, Martinez, Barryberg, Ditiev, Letemarki, Drummond.
Now they've all opened themselves up a little bit here now. Ditiev goes defensive just to protect himself from Letemarki. And right now, everyone just closing in. Crucially, though, Jacopo Martinez has not been dropped by Bondarev here. Bondarev trying his best to drive away, but he has not been able to. So Martinez still in a position here to try and go for an attack. And right now with Bondarev, who has really pushed that kart right to the ragged edge, like you say, started in P13, has gained 12, now leading this race. And he was talking earlier on, he felt deflated, didn't he? He felt like the kart wasn't there, or nothing's, you know, it's not going his way and nothing's happening. It certainly is now. He's pushing it, and mate, you're leading the way on this one. Could that just be because of that brand new set, though, on the left-hand or the right-hand side of the kart?
Certainly helps. It certainly gave him an opportunity to try something a little bit different in the opening phases, gave him a second wind, as now Drummond battles with his teammate Letimaki. They're having a real tough race of this now, going wheel to wheel with Kirill Dtiev on the Tony kart. Meanwhile, Martinez just following in behind his similar Kart Republic racer. Technically in different teams now, the Prema Racing satellite squad running in a different awning to the Kart Republic factory team. But still with plenty of technical expertise and a lot of support from Dino Chiesa, of course. But Prema Racing is very much the F1 Junior Wunderkid squad, isn't it? Because you've got Nakamura Berta in there, you've got Tarbanichkul in there, you've got Powell in there, you've got Flusha in there, and now you've got Selim Hanna in that mix as well in the junior category. They only had one junior for most of this season, and now they've got three because Selim Hanna and Oleksandr Bondarev have moved across to move their way forward. So here comes the charge again from Martinez. The final lap begins, and can the Italian get through on Bondarev? Bondarev having to hold the middle of the road to keep Martinez at bay.
Yeah, well, he's trying to do what he can here, and Bondarev certainly, after the result earlier on, knows he needs to try and defend this spot. But right now, Martinez is going to make it extremely difficult for the Ukrainian to defend this position here as he goes into the top section now, turn 9 into 10. And no chances of an overtake here just yet. We have seen people try and go for an overtake there. We saw that earlier on. It didn't really fully work out, but down in towards turn 14, this has been where everyone goes for the move. But right now, I just don't think he's close enough for a move here. Despite that, Bondarev will go defensive. So watch Jacopo Martinez with the switchback here now. It will be a run to the line, and he does get a good exit out of the final corner. It will be a run to the line, but Bondarev takes it by a whisker, a kitten's whisker.
My goodness, 15 thousandths of a second, Bondarev just has it. He checks the front fairing. Is it loose? No, I think I'm all right. Absolutely terrific. 13th to first for Oleksandr Bondarev. He puts the fresh set on. He puts it on the unconventional side, on the right side. And what an amazing performance there from Bondarev. And that is the same distance in terms of first and second that we saw last week in the KZ2 Masters at Vakersdorf. 15 thousandths of a second. They're making a habit of it in the world of karting, aren't they? Excellent stuff between Bondarev and Martinez. And how about that? A little bit of a thumbs up there between the two of them. It's good racing. Frustration, I'm sure, for Jacopo Martinez. They couldn't quite get him, but at least he had a fair fight to do so. Both drivers made it a very fair fight. Proper good racing there. And that's a champion's drive from Bondarev. When the chips are down, you'll always find something special. He'll dig deep and he'll pull out some stops. So Oleksandr Bondarev, 13th to first. Jacopo Martinez second from Marius Barryberg, Sebastian Letimaki and Zach Drummond. Scott Marsh, Kirill Dtiev, Alfie Slater, Jack Iliff and Scott Lindblom. From Murilo De Rocca and Lucas Mora, the two Brazilians. Christopher Fagali in front of Maria Nito, and she was ahead of Marcel Kaspricki. 16th place for Luca Horton, ahead of Georgi Zajov and Bennett Gaspar. Enzo Riccigiero in front of Simeon Ketola, and then Marco Garst from Gino Rocchio, Vanessa Schukunyet, Morgan Knudsen, Thomas Gender, Marie Barryberg, Matthias Vidver, Luc Konda, Elio Weiss all the way down to 29th, and Radek Vavla, 30th. Philip Karas was the only retirement of the race, and that was one lap from the flag. Having already rolled it earlier in the day, the Jana Racing driver crashing out. But that's not bad, is it? Oleksandr Bondarev working his way through and doing a fantastic job for the Prema Racing team. Every team switch this year has been very much his own decision. He has made his own mind up about what he's going to do in 2023. He had consultation from his family, but they said, look, it's up to you. You choose your own fate, you choose your own destiny, you choose where you want to race. And he's chosen Kart Republic. It's turned into a European title. And now he's turned to Prema for the second half of the season. He wants to become world champion in a few weeks. But here today, he wants to get into the best possible position to be champions of the future Euro Series winner. He loves collecting trophies. It's his big, big passion. He just wants to keep on adding trophies to his collection. He loves them. And it's quite funny. I've known him on occasions. He'll come up and look at the particular trophy that's on offer and go, right, I really want that one. If he likes the design of a trophy. He'll try even harder to make sure he goes on his mantelpiece. Great battles in the early stages then between Martinez, Letimaki and Ditiev. Bondarev had his moves lined up on Murillo de Roca. Roca went wide. And once Bondarev was into fourth position, it was very much about taking it one move at a time. This was when it really started. Letimaki diving up the inside of Martinez. Bondarev had his move lined up on Ditiev, all ready to go. Up to third. Almost had second at that point. Then finished the job on Martinez to get P2. And then just a corner later, incredibly, Letimaki drifted wide. That was enough for Bondarev. An amazing charge through, 13th to first in less than 4 laps. A good move from Marius Barryberg to get his overtaking move done there on Letimaki. And that would give him third position, the Norwegian. Ditiev still dueling away with Letimaki to the flag. But look at that, photo finish pretty much. Jacopo Martinez so nearly overhauled Oleksandr Bondarev. Nicely done from the young man from Ukraine.